Shalom, shalom. So I didn't post yesterday. And the reason why is because if I had posted yesterday, you would have got a whole lot of me. And me, without Ruach or Holy Spirit, I'm not that insightful. So just to say that instead of me rebuttaling or answering or whatever, from what I heard yesterday, pulling out names, I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read straight from the Word. And those that see this are the ones that are supposed to see it. The ones that have ears are the ones that are supposed to hear it. And the ones that have hearts to understand are going to understand it. So I will put the text down here. It is going to be Acts 15, 5 through 21. Acts 15, 5 through 21. You ready? But some belonging to the party of the Pharisees who had believed stood up saying, "It is necessary to circumcise them and to command them to keep the Torah of Moses." The emissaries and elders were gathered together to examine this issue. Side note, there were becoming more Gentiles than there were Jews. All right. Then, after much debate, Peter stood up and said to them, "Brothers, you know that in the early days God chose from among you that by my mouth the Gentiles should hear the message of the good news and believe. And God, who knows the heart, testified to them by giving them the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, just as he also did for us. He made no distinction between us and them, purifying their hearts through faith. Why then do you put God to the test by putting a yoke on the neck of the disciples, which neither our fathers nor we have been able to bear? But instead, we believe that we are saved through the grace of the Lord Yeshua in the same way as they are." So what they're kind of talking about is they're talking about Torah and they're talking about Tanakh. They're talking about Torah, and then they're talking about the fence laws that they had set up so that they made sure that they didn't offend Torah. But I digress. I'll keep going. That was just a side note. But instead, we believe that we are saved through the grace of the Lord Yeshua in the same way as they are. Then the whole group became silent and were listening to Barnabas and Paul as they were describing in detail all the signs and wonders God had done through them among the Gentiles. After they finished speaking, Jacob answered, "Brothers, listen to me. Simon has described how God first showed us his concern by taking from the Gentiles a people for his name. The words of the prophets agree, as it is written, 'After this I will return and rebuild the fallen tabernacle of David. I will rebuild its ruins and I will restore it, so that the rest of humanity may seek the Lord, namely all the Gentiles who are called by my name, says Adonai, who makes these things known from old. Therefore, I judge not to trouble those from among the Gentiles who are returning to God, but to write them to abstain from the contamination of idols and from sexual immorality and from what is strangled and from blood. For Moses, from the ancient generations, has had in every city those who proclaim him, since he is read in all the synagogues every Shabbat. For Moses, from ancient generations, has had in every city who proclaim him, since he is read in all the synagogues every Shabbat." I hope you have ears to hear. If you go get your own translation, this was True Living, Tree of Life version. Get your own version, read the Amplified, see what it says. Love you. Shalom, shalom. A double portion of nothing missing, nothing broken.